Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry. Max and Paul have joined me. Yeah. So we just finished giving our match preview, but now we're going to talk about who we think Marco is going to start this weekend. So, gentlemen, I foresee, if not exact same lineups, some very similar ones. All right. I'm going to start with Max because I have a feeling Paul may switch it up a little bit. So I'm going to start with Max, and then we'll kind of gradually move our way to little old me. So Max, who's starting this weekend for our guys?
Pickford, Coleman, Zuma, Keane, Digne, Gomez, Gay, Sigurdsson, Bernard, Richarlison, Walcott.
Anything surprising there to me? No.
Can't change a winning team like that. I genuinely don't think there's one change that should be made. I know there's an argument for Tosin to come in, but really, after seeing the impact that he can have fresh legs off the bench, you know, he could pop up at the right place at the right time late on in the game, but coming on off the bench. You know, it's all about game management and being wary of when to make the right substitutions, as Marco pulled off to an absolute T against Crystal Palace. So if he can do it again against United, I'll have no complaints.
So the way I see it, looking at your lineup and looking at mine and thinking about Paul, what Paul might do, I see there's 3 points of discussion that we can possibly discuss in just a minute, okay? So okay. We'll get to that. Okay, so Paul, your starters, please.
Pickford in goal, Coleman at right back, Zuma and Keane at centre back, Dean at left back, Gomez and Gay in the middle, Sigurdsson number 10. On the wing, left wing, I think he'll play Richarlison. On the right, I think he may play Lookman. And up front, I think we may try Tosin. So I see Bernard and Walcott coming out the team. I mean, personally, I don't want to see Bernard come out. He didn't have the best of games against Palace. He wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. I think it just didn't quite come off for him a lot of the time. And I think he'll try Richarlison back on the left. I mean, it works in certain games, but him being the lone striker didn't really work against Palace. We got the goals after Tosin came on, and we had more of a focal point in attack. And Tosin, to be fair to him, scored. So I think he's justified if he says to the manager, I've come off the bench at Goodison in the last 2 games, I've scored both times, I think I deserve to come back into the lineup. And I can see that happening. I can see Silva maybe changing up a little bit. And Lookman again, Walcott's not had the best of times recently. I mean, again, he's not been poor, I wouldn't say. He's not had any really bad games. He just hasn't been productive a lot of the time. And Lookman came off the bench and made a great impact. So Lookman and Tosin, I think, have got valid arguments for saying, right, we deserve a start now. And I think I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's the lineup, if Silva makes those changes to try and throw United a curveball. So I can see Lookman and Tosin coming in, and I like to think it will come off and it will work, and we'll get the 3 points.
So to be super boring, shocker. Pickford, Coleman, Keane, Zuma, Dean, Gay, Gomez, Walcott, Sigurdsson, Bernard, Richarlison. It's the same lineup that Max said. All right. However, I also wrote down the 3 conversational points that I think one has been sort of ruled out. Would we all agree that Mina will probably not start the game since we've had a pretty solid center back partnership over this little run and probably not time to switch it up? We all in agreement on that?
Yeah. I'd absolutely love for him to come off the bench or something and grab a late header.
Yeah, send the
Evertonians into raptures and start singing that Baby Shark song.
I'm feeling that. I hope so.
I'd love it, but I think Keane and Zuma have just been too good together to separate them. So that was
I definitely want to see Mina get some minutes though, if it's possible at some point soon, because have we got Chelsea away coming up.
Yep.
That's definitely on the horizon, and Zuma's not going to be able to play in that game, and I don't want that to be the first time Mina's thrown in I don't want his first few minutes in the Premier League to be away at Chelsea in the form they're in. I think it's a difficult one considering how well we're playing at the back, but I do think Mina has to be put in the team sooner rather than later.
Good point.
So, I'll be flabbergasted if he starts, but I think Silva will definitely have it in his head that he has to get him on the pitch very, very soon.
So the other 2 points of conversational points, Tosun. Okay, Tosun possibly starting. That would not be surprising. All right, he came in and he produced. I think a lot of that is going to, I'm wondering, if you're Silva, do you take the point of view that let's not change anything, we just won, we're rolling, we're getting some chemistry now. And being able to put Tosun in provides such a dramatic change. You know, he's a big difference to Richarlison. Less pace, better hold-up play. Or do you think about the fact that United, if the United decide they're up for it, they may be on the front foot for a little while?
Yeah.
And his hold-up play could allow us to kind of get forward if we're if we're backed up a little bit, you know?
I'd rather Richarlison on the counter-attack, though. If we are going to be kind of boxed in to our own half, I'd much rather have that pace of Richarlison on the breakaway. And I think, given the kind of the clumsiness of United's defence at times, I think we can win a few fouls possibly there. I definitely think Tosun plays and gets involved at some point. You know, I think how Paul put it there. You know, you can't score 2 home games on the bounce, go on to win the game. You know, you've definitely got a claim to start. You know, you can go to the manager and say, play me. You know, he got every right to. But I think we're going to have to concede the possession away at Old Trafford. The more speed, the better.
Paul, you look like you wanted to say something.
No, I see where Max is coming from. On a big pitch like Old Trafford, you are going to need legs, especially in the other end of the pitch where their goal is. You're going to need guys who are going to carry the ball up the field, and yeah, I think that definitely suits Richarlison up front. But there's another. If you look at it from another angle, I think that there's going to be moments in that game where the ball's going to fall to us in the box, and we just need someone to kind of have the poise and keep their calm and get a shot away. And I think that would suit Tosun more than Richarlison. So I think there's a good case for both. If we get it up the field and we're having an attack and we cross the ball in, who do you trust to get your head on it? Or who do you trust to have the kind of awareness to be in the right areas when we get our moments? Because we will have moments in this game. I don't believe we're going to go there and just not cross the halfway line. No chance. We are going to have chances to score. But as Max said, there are going to be. I do anticipate them really coming at us for a spell, and we're going to need someone who can get the ball on the break and get us right up the field. So, yeah, there's strong cases for both. But I do see Richarlison coming in and starting, because I think he wants Richarlison back on the left. I think it didn't quite work last week for him, so I think he'll be eager to get Richarlison on the left. And sadly for Bernard, I think he'll be the player who drops out for this week at least. I don't think I think Bernard will be in our strongest 11 going forwards.
Additionally, Walcott, if you've got Lookman starting, and that's the third point. I think the most vocal complaints about our squad in the previous match were against Walcott and maybe a few for Bernard. But Walcott, one-on-one with a keeper, didn't work out too well. And when Lookman came in, he looked good. Mm-hmm. Looked really good. He looked alive. He looked awake. Looked like he cared. That is the main thing. Guy looked like he cared. Yeah. It was nice. He looked like he wanted to be there. That's Mina, I don't think will happen yet in terms of starting. Tosun and Lookman, I could see it happening though. I just wonder if Silva wants to give Lookman a start at Old Trafford for his first start in a while. You know what I mean? I feel like I could see Tosun starting before I could see Lookman starting.
Yeah.
Just because Tosun, he's played a little bit more high-profile matches. He's older. He's a little more on the clinical side for the most part. You could argue against that with Tosun's early season form, but whatever. But Yeah, I don't know. But if we see Tosin Lookman starting, man, wouldn't shock me at all. That's why, Paul, when you were rattling off your starters, I was thinking, yeah, that could happen. You know, sometimes people do that and you're like, what? Stecklenburg, you're nuts. You know, but with these, it would not be surprising because Tosin really should be part. Remember, we were talking about not just having a starting 11, but having like a starting 14 or 15 that can kind of interchange. That's called having a squad, right? So
yeah. But in terms of Lookman, I know it just might just be me saying, I much prefer seeing players come off the bench, but pace-wise, in terms of their fullbacks, Antonio Valencia and Luke Shaw, two very quick players. I'd much rather Lookman come on once they've burnt out a bit. I don't want him starting against them from scratch because I've got a feeling I think if they're quicker to the ball than him within the first 15-20 minutes, I don't know, that may affect in the long run. He might shy away from the ball or whatever, but I just think that speaks volumes. You look at what he did against Crystal Palace. Come on, change the game. I think he got it within him to do it against United as well.
And I was going to say it's probably going to be Ashley Young.
Oh, yeah.
I think Valencia is either injured or something. He hasn't been playing as of late.
Yeah,
so.
still very.
Regardless,
yeah,
the point still stands.
Yeah.
And I could see, the interesting thing though, I can see Walcott on the side going up against Luke Shaw. I feel like Walcott is just way faster. I feel like he could burn him on the inline, burn him to the inline, and get a cross off. I could see that happening.
Having his best season though. Luke Shaw's having his best season at Man United so far. I see your point. I don't want to get me hopes too high, but I definitely think we can give them a run for the money.
I mean, yeah, Shaw is playing well enough to have gotten a new contract. Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody at United is smelling what he's cooking. I just keep going with the rock. Why do I keep doing that? Can't help it. I just like it. I can't help it. Anyway, but I think, and conversely, I would be curious to see how Martial and Rashford will fare against Coleman and Dean. You know what I mean? Because Coleman and Dean, whose best assets and traits are not speed and quickness. They're intelligent, they're good players, they're solid defenders, and they're pretty good, solid going forward. But, Rashford is just liquid speed.
Yeah.
He's just crazy fast. So I want to see how that works out. You were going to say something, Paul. I accidentally cut you off.
No. I was just going to add, Coleman's really going to need to have a strong game against Rashford because he's been out of form, and as you said, Rashford just seems to be a player who is a difference maker during tight games, isn't he? So Coleman.
Will it be Rashford or Martial?
I don't know. They kind of change around, don't they? Sort of thing.
Yeah,
that's probably.
One will start on the left, and they'll after 20 minutes they'll move around. They interchange, but as you said, the liquid speed, the full of trickery, the both of them, and Coleman hasn't been in the best of form. He's going to have to use all his Snell's experience. Otherwise, I think they're going to get a lot of joy down that left-hand side with those two.
Yeah. All right. So, anything else about our starting 11, guys?
Nope.
So I just want to add, in this recent run of form, there have been comments on YouTube, I've been told, that my house is probably a wreck. They're right. My house is a total disaster zone right now because I haven't been cleaning after matches. Because I haven't had bad feelings. So let's keep it that way. All right? Let's keep my house just nasty. All right? Let's do that. All right? When you have two kids, sometimes it's just going to happen. But so I guess that's it for our starting 11 versus United. We're going to follow that up with an appreciation segment of Andre Gomez. Yeah. So anyway, if you're digging the videos, please subscribe. Hovering around 1270 on the subs department right now. So thanks. if you just want more Max, yeah, I know you do. Check out his Twitter profile, because there will be links to various pods where you'll hear the dulcet tones of Max talking football and other stuff. He also does analysis for the Toffee Blues website, and so does Paul. That's right. Paul writes words about football too, and they are wonderful. So check that out. Also check him out on the Liverpool Echo fan jury. That's it. We're gonna move on to say nice stuff about Andre Gomez for the most part. All right. So bye.